Hi there. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. I'm Catherine. Welcome to 30 minutes of my day. I'm doing a little more work on the Tailor of Gloucester this morning. I do have some running around to do, but I love to sit here and see what I got done yesterday. Do a little bit more, and then I have to run around town. I have to go to the post office. I have to go to the grocery store. Yeah. Anyhow, but I want to start my day doing something I really, really enjoy. So I got a lot done on this little Tailor of Gloucester yesterday. I only do 30 minutes of my day, but I do get a bit more done in the meantime. So I have let me move that. I have the little opening page ready there. Let's see, that's the back. Here's the front. So let's pretend. Oh, look at that. Isn't that going to look pretty? Wow. That's really, I'm not done. I'm not done yet. But boy, I'm liking how it looks. So far, so good. I have a little mouse somewhere. Where'd you go, little mouse? Oh, figures. I fussy cut a little mouse on a spool. Oh, there we go. But I'm still trying to decide where I want to put it, and I think I want to put it there. Isn't that cute? So it's very similar to the original front page. So, yeah, now let me put this somewhere where I don't lose it again. Let's put you in there. So we got all 7 signatures. That one's a little fat. I had to do a little doctoring with my fold to accommodate it, but it will be fine. So 7 signatures. I was able to keep the original text block papers in order. Took a little bit of fancy doctoring on my part, and they are in various signatures throughout the book, but if you hunt them down and find them, they will be in order. Like, for example, here in the first signature, there's the original first page, the picture of the mayor wearing his fine new coat at his wedding. And then here is the first page of the story, and it goes on from there. So you can see here, I had to pull out my washi tape and do a little bit of doctoring, and that's fine. That's what we do. In here is more journaling paper, and then more of the story. Again, it is in order. So it's still going to be readable and enjoyable. Then I used some of that new paper that I got the other day when I went thrifting out of town, and I sewed some lace on the edges. I figured, it's about a little tailor, so there's some sewing. Come on, there we go. There's some sewing going on. Now, I was going to use music from that Methodist hymnal, but it's such an old hymnal that it's actually set up in the old-fashioned way, and it was very difficult to find the Christmas hymns, because back in the day, well, actually right now it exists for anyone who sang in a church choir. The music for church hymns is quite, it usually actually has another song, or pardon me, another title. And the music for hymns and the lyrics for hymns, for many of them, can be interchanged as long as the timing is correct. You can sing the different words of other hymns to the music of another hymn. We used to do it all the time in my church choir. We had a very gifted choir director. and it would throw everyone off in the congregation. And they'd sort of think, oh, I've heard this hymn before. How? I don't get it. Because you can interchange lyrics and hymns. And because of that, this Methodist hymn book is set up to do that. So it actually has the music with no words to it, and then it has the blocks of lyrics written in it. I'd go grab it, but I've already put it back away again. And it's beautiful, don't get me wrong. It's very beautiful, but I really wanted just some music with lyrics. So I went back to my good old trusty Handel's Messiah, because you can't beat that for Christmas. And I put in some of Handel's Messiah into this book. And that Methodist hymn book will be a magnificent journal someday. I'm not the least bit concerned, but it just wasn't meant to be for this one. So there's a little bit of, and the government shall be upon his shore. You know, that part is in the book here. So there we go. So that's the pages. I'm going to do a few little journaling cards. They can't be very big because it's not a very big book, dimension-wise. But I dug out some of my old work basket. Pardon me. Some of my old work basket magazines, and I found some Christmas ads. They're already glued down. I have to cut them and make them into tags. And then this one has pinking shears and 50 spools of thread for 1 penny. Oh my. or 300 spools for $2.89. Well, there's a deal. And of course, if you order now, you can get a free Birth of Christ tablecloth. I mean, come on. Or else you have the choice of the Lord's Last Supper tablecloth. Boy, imagine the meals that you could have. Anyhow, so I am going to work on those, but they're pretty easy peasy. There's something special I want to work on for this book. Let's put that back on there, although I know that's the first one, but it helps me in case they get out of order. I just look for my little tag, and I remember with the arrow to sew it in right side up. So I dug out of, I have a book on the biography of Beatrix Potter, and this is her. She have a nice face. I love that hat. That's the year she got married, 1913. So, I want to make a cabinet card. And I got to thinking, how can I do this? Because I would ideally like oval, but I can't cut a perfect oval. And then to make it into a cabinet card, it was just, I was, as Dr. Seuss would say, I was puzzling my puzzler. And then I came up with it. And I thought, I'm going to pull out my old Victorian photo album. Actually, it's not that old. It's not Victorian. It's Victorian reproduction type thingy. These were very popular years ago. Back in the day when we used to actually have photo albums, and now we have electric digital photo frames. But these are, you can get these in thrift stores. My thrift store has stacks of them. So I've already started looking through it this morning. I was getting a little frustrated. They all seem to be landscape. But then I did find the one I want to use. I thought, oh, I could maybe use that one. And I could. But there is, and these ovals are landscape again. That oval's too big. I don't want it that big because that's probably bigger than the little book. Yeah. There's ovals back here. So I'm happy. Oh, there's ovals there too. Oh, they're exactly the same. Okay, so I guess whichever one is easier to get out of the book will get used. All right, well, let's work with this one. So that's my plant. Look what I paid for that. 50 cents. And all those cool little frames. Cutting board, cutting board, cutting board. So I thought I'd work on that this morning. Now let's see. These are really, really stuck together quite sturdily. I shouldn't have to grunt and groan this early in the morning for an old girl. It's a nice day up where I am here, and today's Friday. You'll be watching this on Saturday morning, so happy Saturday. Tomorrow is Halloween, and that can't come soon enough for me. Wait, what have I done? I've ripped something apart. Oh, all right. Well, let's do it this way then. One done. Yeah, we want you. Oh, so that's what was happening. That's all right. That is still usable. All is not lost. So yeah, Halloween tomorrow night. Our little community has not canceled it. There are actually some communities near me that have asked parents to not take their children out trick-or-treating, to make other plans. Our little community is still going to do it. Now, I'm not a doctor or a scientist or anything like that, but from what I can see, I don't see why you can't safely trick-or-treat if you're doing it right. So we've gone ahead with purchasing candies, and we're hoping for some little voices saying, shell out, the witches are out. Come on. There we go. My blade that's all I've got left of that blade, and I do have extras inside. I just didn't feel like having to change it right now. Yeah, so what our plan is we're going to set up a little short table out on our driveway. We're going to do it outside, and the weather looks like it's going to cooperate. We're going to set up a little table. I've got some cobwebs from the dollar store, and depending on how many little trick-or-treaters approach the table, we're going to say, hold on, and we're going to put their treats on the table, step back, and they can take their treats, and off they go. So that's our plan. There we go. All right. That won't get used anyways, because I would be cutting that there when I use it someday. But as you can see, I've got enough there to last the rest of my junk journaling career. Now, here's the plan. Is make a journaling card out of that. All right. Yeah, so that's what we've got planned for our little trick-or-treaters who will be coming to our house. And we've got some little goodie bags for our grandchildren. Although we all live in the same town, we don't live in walking distance, so we're just going to drop off some little goodie bags to them. I don't want it too wide. So we're going to do some running around tomorrow during the day and just drop off goodie bags. Plus we've got some older grandchildren now that maybe don't necessarily want to go out trick-or-treating, but I mean, who doesn't like candy? So that's our plan. Okay. Oh, I did that well. 1/2 inch. Let's do you 1/2 inch. Oh, There would be an easier way. So 3.5, 3.5. That's better. There. Yeah, so that's our plan. Hopefully the weather stays the way they've said it's going to be. And we can hand out some candy. That seems further away. So I've botched something up, but it's not. It is remediable. So that's 1/2 inch there, and that is, come on. Yes, I'm not a mathematician. So 1/2 inch, and yeah. So that's where you were supposed to go. So I made it, I went 1/4 inch too far over. All right. Yep. All right. I can deal with that. My mom's doing great. We were a little worried last week. They had 2 workers test positive in one of the other units, but to be on the safe side, they locked down all 4 units. It's not a very big nursing home she's in. There's 4 completely separate units, and according to the Ministry of Health Canada, they said that they could just shut down the 1 unit, but to be cautious, that really doesn't look even. To be cautious, they closed down all 4 units. Yeah, that is definitely. Which means they have to stay in their room. And that's hard for my mom. So I was very worried about her mentally and emotionally. Because she lives in 5-minute increments. So yes, they may have told her, there's a flu, there's a sickness. We don't want everyone to get sick. And she would understand that for 5 minutes, and then it would go right out of her head. So, and then she would get frustrated because she'd just want to go out and roll around. And she's in a wheelchair, but she manages quite well with her little wheelchair, and she rolls around the halls and people watches, and she has her little stuffed kitty cat on her lap. And she enjoys it very much. She can't watch TV anymore because of her attention span, but she can enjoy rolling around and seeing the sights. And when she's on room lockdown, very hard on her. And then, of course, she starts not understanding, why are these people locking me up like a prisoner? Which, of course, in a way, yeah. And doesn't understand that it's for her own good, her own safety. It's such a fine line, eh? I still don't understand what's right and what's wrong about this COVID, because we're doing our best to keep her alive. But in the meantime, we're losing her cognitively because of the lack of stimulation and the lack of contact with loved ones. It's a terrible thing. I'll be glad when we can get this sorted out. I'm just sanding this down so I can get a better idea of what my plans are with it. They still look uneven to me. I still think I'm just going to have to keep cutting away at it. So that's 3/16 at its thinnest. Yeah. Ah! And of course, now I have sanded that all down. But you know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm taking off another 1/16 of an inch. I'm just doing it. And then that's it. Well, fortunately, actually, I've got another one. I have a backup. Oh, there, that's why I'm having troubles. I'll get it. Sooner or later, I'll get it. Okay, now I'm happy. I know I said that 5 minutes ago, but now I really mean it. And we go back to sanding. So people with sensitive ears, you know what to do. All right. So now I've got to decide how I'm going to do this. Maybe leave a little bit of the flowers so that it looks like what I meant it to look like. Right there. Right there. You can't get... Oh dear, hold on. See, I'm getting away from myself. Oh, it's just going to fit. Just. Wow. Okay. Let's just keep trimming away. This is like, what's that old saying? And who even knows whether it's the truth or not, but there's this old thing that they said that someone asked Michelangelo how he carved his statue of David, and they say, oh, well, I looked at the block of marble and I just took away what didn't look like him. And David was inside. So we're carving away what doesn't look right. And yeah. And our card will be inside. Now I want rounded corners. And I don't think my chomper will chomp them. I think I still want more off the bottom. I think I still want just a little bit more off the bottom. It's all eyeballing, right? What's pleasing to your eye? Now what I might do is I might use my corner chomper to make the indent so that I can at least cut around. See, what that does is it leaves an indent, and then I know I can follow the indent. To take the corners off. Let's do it again. There we go. I'll hold it up closer so you can see what I'm talking about if you're not sure what I'm doing. Can you see how it leaves a little mark? These are mostly plastic with a little bit of metal, so they were never intended to go through cardstock this heavy. I know that you can get chompers that do, but I don't have one. How am I doing for time? Oh, for Pete's sake. All right. So there is, sorry, there was a little piece of sticking out, little paper. All right, now that's too white. So good old linen. To age this a bit more. Yes, I've got Vintage Photo Distress ink. It's too dark for what I want to do right now. See how this is yellowing it? Because this is a stark white page. Right, let's close that, or I'm going to be found in a few hours from now, and it's going to be tragic. That's just to get this bulk out of the way. Now, I still want to age around the edges a bit more of what's going to show through that oval window. And make this look a little bit older. Let's see. There we go. Now this is all still, it's all still new looking. So it's got a bit of a glossy finish to it. So I'm roughing that up so that it will accept some distress ink. And I'm going to go all around these edges too, because I want to distress them. I'm going to pause while I do this because I'm going to run out of time. So I'm going to finish sanding around these edges and I'll start again. Okay, so just hold on. Okay, so I have sanded all around the edges to take the gloss off and see how it see how the paper sort of says, oh, okay, I know what you want to do. All right, I'll cooperate. And then you can get a better aging look because the raw paper underneath has been exposed and it will accept that distress ink, whereas it might have just simply wiped right off if I tried to distress the glossy paper. And then I'm just going to go around the inside as well, because I even sanded the inside of the oval cutout. So then this will, I mean, it'll be my version of a little cabinet card, but I think it'll be pretty. I'm going to have to put a backing on it. Obviously, I'm not going to have time today. I'll post a photo on Instagram so you can see the finished front and back. But you're going to be able to see how this ends up looking before my camera cuts me off. Oh, that looks really nice. So then what I'm going to do is put Miss Potter right behind that. So let's see how we want to do this. I want her centered. Oh, that looks really nice. Very happy about that. So we'll take that, and we'll take that, and let's move it over a little bit. So I want it to about there. All right. Cutter, because that's, for the most part, that's pretty even. I'm going to have some room to fudge around with it because it's going to be in behind, and then I'll put a backing on it. So it this I have a little bit more of a buffer zone. Okay. To put her where she belongs. Look at how nice. Oh, that looks really pretty. I might even be able to put a word snippet right there. Gosh, that turned out cute. And let's see size-wise. Yes, it's just gonna fit. And then I'm going to, let's see what I've got as far as paper and cardstock. Do I have anything in a chocolate brown? Yes, I do. That's black. No. There we go. Chocolate brown. I want chocolate brown. So I will be putting this, I'll be gluing Beatrix, pardon me. Beatrice was my grandmother. And then I'll put a backing on it. And then I'll actually also put some journaling space on the back. So this is actually a journaling card. That is going to be our card. And there is my alarm going off. So thanks for joining me this morning. Thanks for joining me and Beatrix. I hope you all have a great rest of your Saturday. Happy Halloween to those who celebrate and enjoy, and eat all the candy you want. That was the rule in my house. Easier on the teeth. Eat all the candy and get rid of it faster. Take care, everyone. We'll talk soon. Bye.